All right, so today we're going to give you guys a little bit of a breakdown on getting started in this RV world. So, definitely the first thing is either you need a tow vehicle or a trailer. So those are, kind of the two things you really need.
Well, or a motorhome.
Or a motorhome, that's right.
Yeah.
And so with that, you have to account for what you're looking for in an RV or motorhome. May it be the toy hauler, the bunk beds, you can be even just as simple as the tent trailers out as well. So you have to really look at your budget and what you're going to use this trailer for.
I think a lot of people make the mistake buying trailers or motorhomes not knowing what they're going to use it for. And it makes a big problem because somebody buys too big of a trailer for the area they live and then they can't use it. Or they buy something too small that it doesn't meet their needs. So you really need to think about what you need to make this all exactly how you want it to be.
How you want it to be, yes.
There's too much money not to do it how you want.
Exactly. Like, if you're only use it a couple of years, you don't need a big all-over-the-road trailer or a big motorhome as well.
And if you aren't going to live in it full-time, that's going to change which style of trailer or fifth wheel or motorhome you are looking for. Because you don't need a full-time capable trailer to go on weekends.
Yes.
And where you're going to be using it makes a huge factor, so really take that into account.
Things we have to do to get the slide out.
For us, we decided to buy a fifth wheel. We didn't start out with it. We had a smaller one that cost way less, and the price of fifth wheels varies drastically, as with a tongue pole or a motorhome. You're going to have huge price differences, and it comes down to what you want out of the rig that you're going to buy. You can find them used from $1,000 all the way up to $500,000 motorhome buses, and it's a matter of what you can afford and still be able to get out and use without just spending every waking hour working. For us, our fifth wheel, we bought it used, which saved us a lot of money. It's a 2008, and now it's 2018, so it's 10 years old, and we've had it for 2 years.
Still looks great.
Yeah, you can find good used RVs and motorhomes and fifth wheels and all that sort of stuff if you look long enough. We spent years looking.
We spent a long time looking.
Trying to find the right one, and we think we found the right one. At least we hope we did. You can also buy new, and there's advantages going that way as well. Just realize that whether you buy new or used, it's going to depreciate in value. It's going to drop. Ours has dropped, and it already had dropped significantly from when it was a new trailer. We ended up buying ours for $30,000. It blue booked for way more than that, and we felt like we were getting a good deal. And even if we didn't, that's what we paid for, so that's what it is.
Well, then you have your tow vehicle. So it's like, weigh your options there. Do you need a truck? Do you need just like a Suburban, an oversized van? And then also with the motorhome, you're going to want a vehicle to tow behind so you can actually get out and see places.
The key with finding the right tow vehicle for your RV is the weights. Make sure you buy a vehicle that can handle the weight that you are going to be towing, or find a tow vehicle that matches the weight of the vehicle capacity. Check your gross combined vehicle weight rating and make sure that you're good and safe going down the road. For us, we bought our truck used, as we seem to buy everything used.
We're not afraid of that.
Yeah, we aren't afraid of buying used. We'll let somebody else take the hit, and it saved us a lot of money. We ended up paying $45,000 for our truck, and it had 12,000 miles on it, which between our RV and our truck, we're at like $70,000. And so, as you can see, this is not a cheap thing to get into.
No.
You can save money, on the miscellaneous and that sort of stuff, but it's a hobby, and as all hobbies, they cost money just like having a boat or anything else. you're going to have maintenance costs with your RV. Just make sure that you factor that in. For us, we figure anywhere from hopefully zero.
So yeah, hopefully zero, but ends
up
up
to
being $500 to $1,000, depending on what kind of maintenance either vehicle needs, and just taking care of everyday use in the vehicle as well. The truck, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, you're gonna have oil changes. You're gonna go through tires on the trailer and on the truck. So those things need to be factored into your costs. With towing a RV, you're going to wear out your tires quicker. So the more you tow, the more you're going to go through your tires, and you are going to need a higher rated tire, making sure you're getting a good 10, 12 ply tire that's going to hold up to the weight that you're putting on your truck. A lot of people have tire issues because their truck can handle the weight, but they put on poor, cheap China bomb tires, and they end up having real bad issues or wrecks because those tires blow out or they don't last as long. Same with the trailer tires. When we got our trailer home after purchasing it, that was the first thing we did, is put new tires on it. The old tires had expired because it hadn't been drug anywhere. They looked like new.
Sun rot,
all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
they just weren't good. And we wanted to be safe. And so we put new tires all the way around it. And that was extra costs that we had to factor in when buying the trailer.
Another factor would be just supplying the trailer. So may it be the hoses, the cords, the power cord. Sometimes if you're buying used, you don't have that power cord. I don't know, what other little knickknacks?
Well, you're going to have your sewer drain, you're going to have your leveling blocks, you're going to have your tools. I mean, there's a good $500 worth of miscellaneous supplies that you need to buy. And you don't have to buy them all at once. Like us, we've bought them as we've needed them.
Yes.
And a lot of people have it in their garage already, or, you transfer your camp chairs from your garage into your RV and then back out, or whatever. You have a lot of this stuff.
You have tools, and, we all have metric or standard somewhere in our garage as well. And then also for the inside, we have extra sheets, we have extra pillows, dishes, a lot of that we have for the inside as well.
And when you're starting RVing, you don't have to go out and buy all new dishes and everything for your trailer. You can move it in for when you're using it and then move it back into your house, because that is a huge cost. Everything fit. Still have a little bit of extra room. Another factor when purchasing your RV and getting started is which hitch do you need for the vehicle that you are going to be towing. If you are towing a car behind your motorhome, you need to make sure that your vehicle is able to be towed 4 down, 2 down. If your motorhome can tow a trailer, all that sort of stuff. So that way you can factor that into your costs. For us, towing our fifth wheel, we have the B&W Companion fifth wheel hitch, which we have really liked. We've had it for 7-8 years now. It's worked great every time for us. There's lots of different, very well-made hitches out there. We chose this one, and that's just what we have. And a lot of people will say, theirs are great, whatever. It's like the usual. Everybody likes what they have better than what everybody else has. The B&W's worked great for us. They make a quality product and have for years. For tongue pull trailers, a lot of people like to have the weight distributing hitches. That way they can spread out the weight along their whole vehicle instead of just on the rear end of their truck and on their rear axle. So getting a good quality weight distributing hitch that matches your vehicle and can carry the weight capacity of what you're towing is a very critical thing to look for. And these hitches can be expensive. Everywhere from, a few $100 to $1,000, depending on what class of hitch you need to get for the rig. And you need to factor that in. It's not just going to Walmart and buying the cheap ball hitch to put in the bumper of your vehicle.
Well, and you have to also, if you need to have it installed, like the BMW, we have to have a hole in the middle of our bed to drop the hitch down in. So that's also a factor as well.
Yeah, and I would recommend you get a professional that knows what they're doing to install the hitch, because there would be nothing worse than having something come unhitched as you were going down the road.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine how bad that would be. One thing to think about is storage costs. Where are you going to store it? Maybe you have enough property. We had enough that we had put in a separate carport driveway, and we're able to store our trailer at our house.
Yeah, we were lucky to do that.
A lot of people have to pay a monthly fee to store it somewhere, and you need to factor that into your budget. Insurance costs are another thing to look at. I was actually surprised they aren't really that expensive.
I was surprised as well.
I think we're under $200 a year. I don't remember the exact number off the top of my head, but it can be very affordable. I think that does change on the vehicle that you have. I don't know if motorhomes are more expensive or less if you live in them full-time as opposed to having it as a
second home
or whatever.
Part-time.
So there's some cost to associate there. RVing can be cheap and budget friendly, but getting into the RV lifestyle isn't.
It can get a little pricey, yes.
It can get a little pricey, and so you need to be able to justify, this is what I'm going to do for my vacations. If this is just a once a year thing, it's probably not going to be justifiable for your expenses unless you just have lots of extra money, which we don't. Now that we have our trailer, that's what we
plan everything around, you know.
Yeah.
Where can we take the trailer this weekend? Where can we go? We've got a long weekend coming up with a holiday. You know, let's take advantage of that 3-day weekend.
Yeah, and we don't stay in hotels. We don't go on cruises, really. We don't do any of that sort of stuff because our vacations are
in the
trailer.
Yeah.
We're quite a ways into this thing, and it's a lot of money to get started out. But now that we're started, it seems to be kind of going the other direction. So the longer that we can hold on to what we have and the more use we can get out of it, the more we can justify how much it costs to get into our fifth wheel.
All right, so hopefully you got a little bit more information on how to get started as an RVer. As always, like and subscribe, and you know what? Check back in one of our videos that we did in the past. It's how to get started with buying your supplies and what we use, and you can get an idea there as well.
We'll link it at the end of the video.
Yeah, we'll link it in. But I guess bottom line, get out, enjoy your weekend, and enjoy the scenery around you.
Thanks.